Have you ever felt invisible to someone you deeply care about? You give them your best, love, time, and attention, yet somehow they never truly prioritize you. That sting of being overlooked can cut deep, but here's the truth. Your value doesn't depend on how others treat you, it depends on how you treat yourself. In this video, I'll share 8 timeless rules that will help you transform into someone unforgettable, someone others cannot afford to lose. Each rule is not about playing games, but about rediscovering your inner strength, independence, and self-worth. And make sure to stay until the end, because the final rule might completely change the way you see your relationships. One of the most common mistakes in relationships is giving away everything too quickly. When every detail of your life is on display, you leave no room for wonder, no spark of curiosity. Mystery is not about deception, it is about depth. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely said, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." If you spread yourself too thin, always available, always predictable, you lose the unique magnetism that comes from being partly unknown. Think of yourself as a journey, not a map. If all the paths are drawn from the start, the adventure is gone. But when each step reveals something new, like a winding road into uncharted land, people are eager to keep walking with you. Cleopatra understood this. Her influence was not built on beauty alone, but on the aura she carefully cultivated, revealing just enough to spark intrigue, concealing enough to remain unforgettable. By choosing what to reveal and what to hold back, you create a sense of depth. You become a riddle, a puzzle worth solving. Your mystery is your power. It keeps people coming back, longing for the next chapter of your story. People often take for granted what is always within reach, but the moment they sense the risk of losing it, their perspective changes. This applies to relationships as well. If you are always chasing, always available, others may forget your worth. But when you embody independence and self-reliance, you remind them, your presence is a privilege, not a guarantee. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength when you live with this mindset. You stop clinging to people for validation. You become whole, self-sufficient, and strong in your own right. Think of Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak in the early days of Apple. Wozniak's brilliance made him irreplaceable. Jobs recognized this, and it changed the way he treated that partnership. Likewise, when you carry yourself as someone who cannot easily be replaced, people will respect your presence and fear your absence. So stop begging for attention. Live in a way that shows you are complete on your own. When people realize you could walk away at any moment, they will try harder to keep you. The most magnetic people are not those who beg for affection, but those who radiate joy from within. Happiness that depends on others is fragile. It breaks the moment they change. But happiness you build for yourself is unshakable. Seneca once wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This is the secret. When you learn to enjoy the now, you stop being a prisoner of someone else's approval. Think about it. When you see someone confident, smiling, living fully even when alone, aren't you naturally drawn to them? Their energy is contagious. They don't need you, but they choose to share their light with you. That choice makes them irresistible. Take Theodore Roosevelt as an example. He faced immense tragedy, the loss of his wife and mother on the same day. Yet instead of drowning in despair, he created his own joy through boxing, exploring, and serving the public. His inner strength made him not only a great leader, but a man people admired deeply. So stop waiting for others to complete you. You are already complete. Build your happiness, read, create, grow, laugh. When you shine on your own, others won't just want you in their lives, they'll need you. What comes too easily is rarely valued. In relationships, this truth is even sharper. If you give yourself away without effort, people may enjoy your presence, but never treasure it. Real appreciation is born from investment. When someone pours their time, energy, and emotion into you, they begin to see you not as a passing moment, but as a priceless presence in their life. Seneca once said, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." The same is true for relationships. Value emerges through effort. If everything is effortless, it is also forgettable. Think of Aristotle and his pupil, Alexander the Great. Aristotle was not just a teacher who handed out wisdom freely. He demanded thought, discipline, and engagement. Alexander had to invest years of learning, questioning, and striving, and that effort created one of the most powerful student-teacher bonds in history, shaping a leader who would change the world. So don't make yourself cheap. Let people invest in you, whether it's through their time, their respect, or their commitment. The more they pour into you, the more they will value having you in their life. You are not a quick distraction, you are a treasure worth pursuing. Love and connection are beautiful, but they should never become your entire universe. When you orbit your life completely around another person, you lose your own gravity. You stop shining as yourself. The Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." If your identity depends entirely on someone else, you are out of balance with yourself, and eventually with the relationship too. Imagine a star in the night sky. It shines because of its own light, not because it revolves around another star. That's how you must live, pursuing your dreams, passions, and growth, not just waiting for someone else to define your worth. This independence makes you magnetic. Think of Isaac Newton. His discoveries reshaped science, but his life was not limited to equations. He cultivated friendships, explored hobbies, and nourished his curiosity. He didn't live only for recognition or validation. He lived for truth and discovery. That balance of brilliance and independence made him unforgettable. When you stop making someone the center of your world, you reclaim your freedom. You show them you are not dependent, but complete. And in that completeness, you become infinitely more attractive. Respect starts with how you treat yourself. If you constantly sacrifice your needs, accept disrespect, or lower your standards just to keep someone, you silently teach them that your worth is negotiable. But when you stand firm, you set the rules for how others treat you. Marcus Aurelius once said, "It is not events that disturb people, but their judgments concerning them." In other words, it's not what others do, but what you allow that shapes your experience. If you accept being overlooked, you reinforce it. If you demand respect through your actions, people will adjust or leave. History gives us the example of Lucius Quinctius Cincinnatus, a Roman general and statesman. Offered immense political power, he chose instead to return to his farm, holding fast to his values rather than chasing influence. By prioritizing his principles and dignity, he became a symbol of self-respect and integrity. So remember this, prioritizing yourself is not selfish, it is necessary. You cannot build healthy love on the foundation of neglecting your own worth. When you make your happiness and needs a priority, you don't just gain respect, you inspire it. The rarest treasures are never found on every corner. The same is true for your time and presence. If you are always available, always responding, always waiting, others will begin to take you for granted. Scarcity creates value. When your time is precious, people learn to cherish the moments they have with you. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Many of us fear that if we are not constantly present, others will forget us. But the truth is, by not being always accessible, you make your presence more powerful, more memorable. Consider Ada Lovelace, the pioneering mathematician often called the first computer programmer. In an era when women were expected to always conform and serve, Ada carved her own path. She devoted her energy to study, innovation, and collaboration with Charles Babbage. She was not perpetually at the service of others. Her limited availability, combined with her brilliance, only increased her mystique and respect. So resist the urge to always be on standby. Live fully, pursue your passions, guard your time. When people see that you are not endlessly accessible, they realize your presence is a privilege, not an entitlement. That is when they will value you most. The ultimate power in any relationship is the ability to walk away when you are not valued. Too often we cling to people who drain us, fearing loneliness more than disrespect. But remember this, staying where you are diminished is the greatest form of self-betrayal. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. You cannot control how others treat you, but you can control whether you stay in a place where your worth is ignored. That choice is yours and it defines your strength. Think of Aurelius himself. Despite being emperor, he refused alliances that compromised his principles. He chose integrity over convenience, even if it meant walking away from powerful bonds. His example reminds us, real strength is not in holding on, but in letting go when necessary. When you show that you are willing to leave, you send a message louder than any words. I know my value, and I will not settle for less. That moment transforms how others see you. Some will fight harder to keep you, others will fall away. Both are victories because you remain true to yourself. We've walked through 8 timeless rules to make yourself unforgettable. Protect your mystery, stand strong in your independence, create your own happiness, let others invest in you, live for yourself, prioritize your needs, guard your time, and finally, be willing to walk away. These are not tricks to manipulate others. They are principles to help you rediscover your worth and live with strength, just as the Stoics taught. Now the question is, which rule will you live by starting today? Comment below with your commitment. For example, I will prioritize my needs first, or I will create my own happiness. Let this be your public promise to yourself. And if this video resonated with you, give it a like, share it with someone who needs these truths, and subscribe to join this community of wisdom and growth. Remember, your value is immense, and you deserve to be treated as such.